Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Shameless in Chicago. This is your host, Nin.
And I'm Luke. We're here with a very special guest today, the AlmightyAirmayne.
Woo!
Woohoo! Yeah, I love that guy. I mean, every time that he goes on show, I can never stop screaming for him. I think you can hear me in every video.
Yeah. What up, everybody? I'm hyped to be on the podcast.
Hey, Almighty, how are ya?
Good, man. Good.
Great, glad for you to be here. We wanted to ask you a bunch of questions today, mainly about how you build your music and what you have coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Awesome. So I think Neneva had some questions for us, actually. Let's lead her into our creative director.
Alrighty. So, AlmightyAirmayne, I just have a question. Where did you get the name from? Like, that's always my biggest curiosity is where do artists get these names from?
Funny story. So I randomly just came up with that name one day in high school. I think it was on Twitter, and I put it as my Twitter handle, and I guess it stuck, and I forgot about it for the longest time. And then when I started to be like more into the hip hop scene again, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try bringing back that name because I feel like it's just a funny name and everyone's just like, interesting. So AlmightyAirmayne, it rolls off the tongue really nicely. So I stuck with it.
Okay. So this all just came from a Twitter handle, basically. The power of Twitter. Am I right?
Now, you didn't always do hip-hop, right? You were in some other genres as well?
Yeah, I was also really involved in metal scenes as well. Like, so I had a studio metal band called Of Origins that I used to do back in the day. And it was nice. It was fun. I got a lot of music out there with them too. So one EP, one album. It was a good time. After that, I really started to grind out the AlmightyAirmayne through 2020 up until now. And I just haven't looked back at from that. And like, I love what I do right now as AlmightyAirmayne.
Nice. And so one of the things I want to ask you is, aside from the name and also like the band change, what was kind of exciting about your first performance? What got you to do your first performance? Did you ever perform as Of Origins, or was it just AlmightyAirmayne that ever performed?
So Of Origins never performed. We wanted to, and we tried so hard to find drummers and bassists to play with us, and it just never worked out. And then we met these group of dudes, and then from Of Origins, it formed into Lake Haven, and then we were like, oh yeah, now we can work on starting to play shows, but it just didn't work out that way. Circling back to AlmightyAirmayne, when I played my first show as AlmightyAirmayne, wow, I can't tell you how great I felt. It was amazing. All my friends were there. My girlfriend was there. Thanks to everyone that came out.
That sounds amazing. With anything of your future projects that are coming up right now, do you have like anything you look back on as like maybe a favorite track of yours or a favorite beat that you produce? Is there something that you want to like keep on pushing even though you pretty much had something out for a while?
Oh my God. Can I just, Tinder Thoughts has to be my favorite one. I don't know, just something about that song, the beats, the hype, the accuracy, like, come on, that song is amazing. So yeah, back to Luke's question. Go ahead.
Favorite beat. I have a few off the top of my head that I can name. So Tinder Thoughts definitely being one of them. I would say that's one of my favorite songs of all time, just because it's such a low, like, raspy kind of sound, and everyone's like, oh shit, when I play this live. But another one that I think is really fun, and I had a lot of fun making it, was Delusions of Grandeur.
Oh, that one's a good one.
Off the same album, Volume 4.
Yeah.
Great beat. It's short, simple.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are pretty well thought out, for the lack of a better way of saying it.
As another beat that you've produced that I think you didn't plug, which I thought you were going to plug, is King. That beat goes hard.
We don't speak about that song yet.
I know. It's an unreleased one, but the anticipation, the excitement, the crowd reaction when you performed that song.
Yeah, it was a crazy reaction with that crowd. It was really funny because I was looking for a song to play live for this showcase, and I figured, like, hey, why not play an unreleased song that I haven't even thought about playing live yet? And I said, you know what? We're going to play that song. Played it. The crowd went wild. it was not what I expected.
When is it going to be released?
I'm hoping for early next year, around March, April.
Okay. Make it May, maybe, right in time for my birthday, you know?
Yes, for sure.
Now, in terms of shows, I love me a good Almighty show. The energy's always there, the crowd's always pumping, and everyone you're playing with always seems to be in like a really great energy. Is there a show coming up at all that we can look forward to? Because I think it's been a couple of months since we've seen, it feels like a couple of months since we've seen Almighty play.
Yeah, I actually have a show coming up later this month, October 29th at WC with Riff Raff and a bunch of other artists.
You're playing with Riff Raff?
Yes, I am.
The guy who's going to blow up and act like he doesn't know anybody?
No, I'm playing with him at WC.
Oh my gosh. This is a show to see.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy show. I'm playing a new song as well.
Oh, can you give us any hints on this new song? Anything that we can look forward to?
Sure. It's different from what I've done in the past. It's more chill.
Okay. So like what kind of chill? Like I'm freezing or I'm stoned or what's going on?
It's a mixture of you're stoned. Okay, so the show is on October 29th, Halloween weekend.
Oh, it's a Halloween show?
At WC Social Club. It's going to be a Halloween show, and tickets are $20.
Can I show up in costume?
I recommend you show up in costume.
Can I dress up as you?
Sure.
Awesome. I'm going to get a big Albanian eagle behind my ear.
There you go.
All right. Well, you guys heard it here first. October 29th is going to be the Almighty show with Riff Raff going to be playing in the background. It's going to be at the WC Social Club, $20 entry fee, 10/29/2023, Halloween weekend. Come see him.
No disrespect to Riff Raff, by the way.
We love you, Riff Raff.
Apart from AlmightyAirmayne, right? Because that's who you are on stage. What is the creative process like? Like, are you writing your own music? Are you producing your own music? What is the creative process behind the scenes, behind the stage?
So I produce all of my own beats, and as well as produce all of my own beats, I also write all the lyrics for those beats.
Oh, wow.
I sit at my computer at home and grind out a beat, and like some beats take like a few days, some take like 20, 30 minutes. And from there, I will be in my car or anywhere and just randomly think of lyrics, and I'll jot them down on my phone. I'll write down just some random bar. And from that point, I will try to formulate the song from there and add structure to the song. And once I finish adding structure to that song, I can already see that, hey, like I have complete structure here, and here's a complete song right now. And then I'm ready to put that song out.
Oh, wow. So you come up with the entire creative content, from the thought to the beat to the lyrics to the swiping on these Tinder thoughts, like who I'm going to hit. Like, okay.
Yeah. That was a funny song when I wrote it, because when I wrote it, at that time, I was on Tinder for like maybe 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And then me and my friends would always joke about Tinder thoughts. And then I was like, I made this random beat like around quarantine when that started, like February, March 2020. I think I made Tinder thoughts beat. And I started writing like some lyrics to it.
Yeah.
And when I was writing lyrics to it, I was like mouthing like different patterns. And like, I was like, maybe I should write like a darker kind of song.
Yeah.
But I wrote like Tinder thoughts. And when I wrote Tinder thoughts, I imagined it was going to be like the shit. Like everyone was going to be like, wow, this song is insane.
Honestly, it really is that song. Like for me and my girlfriends, that has to be one of our most favorite AlmightyAirmayne songs. The fact that you're talking about Tinder thoughts and you're talking about girls kind of like passing them around almost and just being like, oh, I'm just here to smash. I'm not here to love you. Even as a woman listening to it, like it's a funny song. Like it's a good song.
I honestly still think one of my favorite Almighty songs is Dinero. It is an oldie, but it is a goodie.
Oh my God.
It just gets me popping. Listen. In all honesty, it is probably 7:15 in the morning, and I'm on my way to work, and I'm going, Dinero. It's one of my favorite things to get pumped to the day to. I can't even deny it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there always has to be like an Almighty song that's either stuck in your head or you're just like randomly rapping to it or you're thinking about it Because, like, he has this one song, it's called Over It. And every single time I'm over something, I just think of that song. I'm like, I'm over it. And then I start rapping the song in my head. I'm like,
You know what's really funny that you bring that up, because I don't even say the word over it and over it.
yeah.
Or like any of the other songs on volume 3.5, except What's My Purpose. I don't say nah and nah. Only
Really?
What's My Purpose is the only song that has like the song title and the lyric.
I mean, Delusions of Grandeur has the song in the song.
Like
title.
at the very end though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And then the other ones too, like I'm trying to think. Flex 3 obviously doesn't. None of the flexes do.
Yeah, and a new drip, new whip, because the entire song is about you having a new drip and new whip, and in your music video too, you're flexing new drips and new whips. And what was about new drip, new whip that you liked enough to make a music video about it?
So New Drip, New Whip for me, I felt like it was a very mainstream song, and it kind of emulates like what most rappers are up to these days, like with like flexing like bands and like cars and stuff.
I'm rocking them Gucci flip flops. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to write a fun flexing song like that. So New Drip, New Whip came into play, and I was like, this song is sick.
So what made you want to record a music video for it?
Well, I wanted to record a music video for it to do that exact same reason you shown before, like flexing. So flexing, you know, new drip and new whip, you know, like we were whipping the Mercedes for that entire video. And then for the new drip, I was wearing that Hilfiger jacket and just a bunch of other stuff that like I probably just bought.
Oh my. So are you trying to tell us you bought that new Benz?
That information's classified.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, there's some other music videos out there. I think there's actually one for the Almighty Takeover that dropped, actually kind of not too long ago. And that one's kind of a banger. It's got some great lights, great angles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I could say I'm a big fan of the Almighty Takeover video.
Yeah.
I agree. That video was really fun to shoot. When we were shooting it, we shot it with Underdog Visuals, aka Nico. Shout out Underdog, by the way. He hosts the Made in Chicago showcases for local artists all around Chicago and the Midwest. If you're a local artist and you want to check it out or showcase yourself, hit them up. They're great people. But going back to the Almighty Takeover music video, the Almighty Takeover music video was really fun because I had a specific vision in mind for that music video. I wanted to go with a more mafia kind of vibe to it. Hence the suits and then all the guns that we had in the video and the bricks of cocaine. Oh, yeah. It was a fun time with the Almighty Takeover music video because I had a specific vision in mind for it. I got a lot of that influence from like Albanian music videos, especially in like the Albanian genre. Like,
who's your inspiration?
For that music video, it was Don Johnny.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have a song like Mafia, Mafia, Mafia?
He has a song called Mafia and he has a song called Crypto.
Oh, so that's kind of like what the idea came from and all that.
Since we're on that subject with Crypto, because Crypto has that scene where they're driving in like the little Volkswagen Golf.
Yeah.
That's where I got the idea for New Drip, New Whip.
Oh, wow.
Because I was like, oh, this is sick. Like he's just whipping this Volkswagen Golf like down an abandoned like runway.
So one thing that I would also like to point out for AlmightyAirmayne is that for those of you that don't know, I, Nin, and Luke are AlmightyAirmayne's behind the scenes. We are his team. We are who help him out with everything.
We are his production crew on the scenes.
Yes. So.
And we have the most amazing time with it.
Oh my God. We have so much fun because we are all, thank God, creatives and we just put our minds together.
And there's never really been a job where you can hang yourself out the outside of a trunk to record just a whole driving scene. I think that was one of the highlights of my career here so far.
Yeah. If you guys want to watch the music video and the behind the scenes, go ahead and look up AlmightyAirmayne on YouTube.
Let's spell it for him. ALMIH. Oh, gosh.
Oh, my God. Let's spell it for them. ALMIGHTY and then space. Airmayne. AIRMAYNE.
It's not spaced. It's all one word.
Oh, my gosh.
Everyone knows that, you fake fan.
Oh, my gosh.
Fake fan.
Fake fan.
Anyways, yes. So one thing, Almighty, I would like you to touch upon, what has been the importance of having a team? What has having Nin and Luke in your Almighty Airmayne team been like? How has that helped you? How has it hindered you? What has it done for you? Like, explain to other artists what the importance might be, or maybe it's not important to have a team. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, number one, it is very important to have a team or a trusted group of individuals if you're an artist, no matter if you're music, whether you're art, whether you're just doing something like this, like a podcast. It's very important that you have a group that you work with.
Yeah.
I love my group I work with. So you guys are freaking amazing. But I want to tell everybody that whether you're a solo artist and you're just starting as a hip hop artist or whatever genre you might be, go find someone that can edit your videos for you. Go find someone that can do all your social media. Ask some of your friends. Some of your friends might be down and don't want to, work their boring 9-to-5 job.
Yeah, and they might want like some creative hobby to have on the side.
Right. Yeah. Some creative outlets. So, they're not losing their mind over like, oh, I have to go to my 9-to-5 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate my job.
Yeah, it gives you that thing to look forward to.
Yep.
Yeah, so a part of this came about because I am Almighty's girlfriend, and I really believed in his music, and I thought how great it was and everything. And then Luke came into play. How exactly did you come into play? I always forget that part of the story.
I want to say over 2 years ago, Neneva conned me into this idea that we were going to do a podcast together and that we were going to take off, and all we had to do was help our buddy over here get big, and then we'll get big with him. And then it just kind of focused on helping our buddy over here, which has been the most amazing time. And now here we are moving on to just a lot more things I don't think we ever thought we would at the start of it.
Wait, I don't think that's exactly what happened. I think we went to your house for Almighty to help us set up a podcast and learn how to do that.
That's right. Almighty came over. I was having trouble putting a second microphone on my MacBook because I had no idea you needed a very complex sound interface to make these things very easy.
Yeah.
And as much as we tried, I don't think we ever got that second microphone to latch onto my computer.
No, we didn't.
But yeah, the Almighty came over, and then it just kind of turned into a big spitball, a snowball of ideas. And I think it all focused around Almighty, about being shows, about doing content. It's been a really fun adventure so far.
It really has been, honestly. It's been a fun time. We get together. First, we were doing meeting once a week, and then we decided to increase it to 2 times a week because we just realized that Almighty was slowly getting bigger. Our ideas were getting more grand, and so on and so forth. And we decided to start meeting twice a week, and that's why where we are today.
And the more work you put into it, the more you're going to get out of what you need.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. So now we have this podcast, and a part of this podcast studio, we also have Almighty running the show in his own recording studio, which is so incredible because we'll be at shows and somebody will come up to either Almighty or up to Luke or up to me and asking them like, hey, can you help me out? Or asking Almighty, like, can you mix, master, and produce my music? Now you have your own studio where you could help people do that. What's that like? What is your plan for Airwave Studios?
Oh, man, it's so exciting to be able to have my own studio. I have always wanted to open up my own studio and mix other people's music and record, mix, master, just have fun with it. And, I never really got to the point where I felt comfortable, where I was like, I'm going to get my own venue. I'm going to get my own space to do this. And then around this time, once we started opening Airwave Studios, I said, hey, I could put my recording studio in here. And now that the recording studio is going to be in Airwave Studios, it's insane because I'm excited to record all these local artists from all over Chicago, the Midwest, whoever it may be. They can be from anywhere in the world, and they're in Chicago. Hey, I need a space to record music. Come on down to Airwaves.
Will you be helping people mix and master their own music, or will you be creating the music for the people?
I'll be creating the music for the people. I don't think I'm at the level to teach how to do that yet.
So you're going to be creating beats and stuff for people?
I'm going to be producing beats for people, recording them, mixing, mastering their music as well.
Okay. So you're going to be helping other people out trying to get more successful.
Yep.
Well, what about you, Dan? What's your goal for the studio?
Oh my gosh, my goal for the studio. Well, our content creation studio is really nice because it's multi-purpose. So we're able to have this podcast area, which I did not think I would enjoy podcasting as much as I do. But podcasting was mostly Luke's idea. It was literally been his idea for like over 2.5 years now.
Guilty as charged. I just love hearing the sound of my own voice, as I've been accused of, rightfully so.
Yeah. I mean, we all kind of do a little bit, but after a certain point, we're like, oh. But no, podcasting has been a lot of fun, and also learning the hoops with it and buying the correct materials with it has been a lot of fun as well. But also with the creation studio, I just really want it to be a space where content creators don't feel limited. Like, they can come here, and if you want to have a photo shoot, have a photo shoot. If you want to record a podcast, come and record a podcast. If you want to have a meeting with your friends to talk about next steps for your content creation, feel free to do so. Or if you want a public meetup spot to discuss brand deals, please feel free to do so. Like, that's kind of my goal, is that nowadays rent is so expensive, housing is expensive. People might feel like they don't have the space or the materials to do the things that they want to do, and that might feel them to be hindered from their dreams because they don't have the money or the space or whatever the case may be. They can just come here, look us up on Peerspace, look us up on Instagram at Airwave Studios, email us at airwaveschicago@gmail.com, and just rent out the space and just have a good time being a creative.
I think I'm most excited just to see how much talent that this area is going to bring to us. I can't wait to see
Yes.
the different artists that come forward. I can't wait
Right.
to see the different kind of models that come forward. I love watching photo shoots. I love watching different outfits, different nail styles, hairstyles. I hope we have people coming in here for all day sessions, because I'm just down to watch. It's like watching TV to me. It's better than watching reality TV, but I get to watch ideas come to life and maybe even help kind of take part in them. I think that's kind of what I'm most excited for about the studio.
Yeah, because we've been able to see, like, us three, we have different minds and we look at things differently. But then when we're together so often, we start to think the same and act the same and all that stuff. And then seeing what people take from our canvas, the studio is a canvas, and seeing what they do with it will be very interesting.
I just can't wait. Once we have all the furniture in, we just got some stuff ordered today, which is going to be amazing to see. I honestly think, like, yeah, sure, I'm super excited for our podcast area, but I feel like I'm going to be putting a lot of my love and my heart into the photo studio aspect of the place, because it's just so beautiful, and we'll have everything here.
Yeah.
The couch, the tables, the screens. Oh, it's going to be gorgeous.
Yes. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. It's funny how we were kind of switching, because I'm excited about the podcast and you're excited about photo, but we initially started with you podcast and me photo, but Almighty has stayed with his music producing.
Yeah, well, listen, if there's any reason for me to buy a set of lights, I'm going to fall in love with it. I want RGB lights. I want soft lighting. I want warm lighting. I want cool lighting. I want everything to look beautiful 365 days a year.
Yeah.
And here we come. The photo studio will be my inspiration.
No, I swear. Almighty, have you been excited the same way about your recording studio? What has been your creative process with that?
Like how it's like the creative process into building it.
Creative process into building it, designing it, articulating it. What has that been like for you?
So it's been a lot of back and forth with deciding what equipment I want for it.
Yeah.
Whether it be like this interface or it'd be this speaker or this computer to like run the appropriate programs to record everything. But just now, I think like it was like last week or 2 weeks ago, I finalized everything I want for the studio. We just bought a computer today for the studio as well, so I'm excited for that. But procuring everything and finding out exactly what I want for the studio and what gear I want to use without reflecting it to being like mine. So I'm not copy pasting exactly what I have at home.
Yeah.
I think it's going to actually be better than my home setup.
Okay. So one last question that I kind of have for you is for people that are going into music creation or they want to start music creation. How did you learn what softwares or what programs were best to use, and which ones did you decide like this is worth paying for and this is not worth paying for? How did you come to learn all of that?
Experience, a lot of experience and a lot of free trials. So I currently use Reaper to record all my stuff. I've been using Reaper since 2016, so roughly about 7 years now.
Yeah.
And I've tried other like recording programs. Like I've tried Logic in the past. I've tried Studio One. I've tried Cubase a few times, Pro Tools. And I know Pro Tools is the one that everyone uses in the music industry, but I just can't use it.
Okay.
But Reaper has been so consistent because I know it so well. I know all the process keys for it. I know exactly what key binds to use and everything. I'm kind of like a nerd when it comes to that program.
Yeah.
So just because I've been using it for like 7 years now, I just love everything about that program and know it in and out. Like I know it like the back of my hand.
Okay. And then how do you distribute your music? How do you get it to platforms?
I just use DistroKid.
Okay.
And then that way I can share Almighty all over the world through Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, any music streaming service, you can find my music. I also am on social media, so if you go on Instagram and hit the little music button, it'll show up. My music will show up. Snapchat will do the same thing. TikTok does the same thing.
Okay, cool. And then will you have all of that stuff in the studio? So if somebody has their own music, but they just need help mixing it, mastering it, producing it, whatever the case may be, or they've already produced it, they already have the beat for it, but they just need that little assistance, will you be able to assist them in that?
Absolutely. Yeah, come on down. If you need your songs mixed and mastered, if you have your tracks already done, I will gladly mix and master those for you. Or if you have a beat, I will gladly record your vocals over it.
Okay, so they can record vocals too. What about instruments? What if somebody wants like an instrumental acoustic guitar? Will you be able to record that too?
Yeah, absolutely. I can record your guitar. I can record anything here. There's going to be studio provided instruments. And then
Such as?
right now, it's just going to be an instrument or studio provided guitar at the moment.
Yeah.
But within the coming like weeks or months, I want to say there's going to be a studio bass available, and then a studio acoustic guitar is going to be available.
Yeah, but as for now, people are going to be bringing their own acoustic guitars or their own guitars to record.
Yeah.
But you'll have the equipment to record it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's exciting. Well, thank you, Almighty, for joining us on today's podcast. We really appreciated having you here.
Yeah, anytime. I'm happy to be on here, and take a look at Almighty. Go follow me on all social medias. Go follow me on YouTube, AlmightyAirmayne. That's all one word.
Yeah, no space. Got it. So, yes, thank you so much, Almighty, for being on today's podcast.
Yeah, I love seeing you. It's always great when you're around. I can't wait to see you on October 29th, 2023 at the WC Social Club for the Riff Raff and Almighty Airmayne show for the Halloween special.
Yes, and you can all purchase tickets by DMing Almighty Airmayne on Instagram.
Tickets cost $20, so get them while they're there.
And yeah, we'll be excited to see you guys there because we will be there as well.
All right, and I think that's where we're going to wrap up, guys. Next time, come see us as Nineveh fights a flock of seagulls over a pair of Gucci slides.
You know what? At least I will have Gucci slides.
We'll see. Those seagulls look pretty tough.
Oh my gosh. But we're not in Australia. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on today's podcast. Until the next episode. Bye, everyone.